All right, Mustang fans, Lady Mustang fans, and surrounding areas. Here we are, another podcast Wednesday. I do quite a few podcasts, and this podcast right here this evening, we'll be talking Ingleside Lady Mustangs volleyball with our head coach there, Caitlin Whittle. Coach, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing all right.
All right, Coach. Thanks again for coming on. Coach comes on every Wednesday throughout the volleyball season to talk about a program or players' performance. As I said before, when we came on, this was going to be a very tough district. A lot of good teams playing great. So we had our first district game coming up this past Friday against Rockport-Fulton. They were coming into town. And Coach, I got to say, looking at the sets that you sent me, the stats, a lot of our players played really good in that game, and we'll definitely talk about them. We take the loss in 4 sets, but Ingleside, we took the first set. So, I mean, the game started out really, really well for us against a good Rockport-Fulton team. I believe we took the first one, Coach. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me look at the stats that you sent me, but I think I saw 26-24.
Yeah, I think so. I know we won the first set. The exact score, I can't really remember what it was, but we did win the first set.
And just kind of talk a little bit about that. Like I said, we won the first one, started out great, and then we kind of just couldn't get back in it, and we lost the next 3. What did you see from the Lady Mustangs?
The first set, we came out really strong. Number 3, Oakley Ruiz, she came out swinging, and she got some really good kills in the first set, had a lot of momentum. One thing that we'd really worked on all week is our serving, using that as like the first weapon of our offense. And it paid off for us. One thing that, we kind of backfired for us a little bit was, it was a point by point game. So we ran out of subs in our first set. So, and actually we ran out of subs in the second set as well. So we had to make some adjustments on who stayed in and who came out, because it was just a point by point battle. So there was like a rotation where our little number 9, Kylie Ralston, was in the front row. We just ran out of subs. And so, yeah, it was a little frustrating. We did some really good things. And I think the big problem, and it's just been kind of like an epidemic of our, Ingleside volleyball, is these girls don't know how to finish a game. There's a lot of games where we'll win the first set, and then we'll just, we fight for the second, third, and fourth set, but we can't quite close it out. I think that just comes with experience. I mean, success breeds success. If you're winning games more often and you find that yourself in that situation more often, then you have more experience in that situation and you're able to finish. So, we've been in those situations more in the last couple of years. We just haven't quite figured out a way to just take it over the top and, get the 2 out of 3. So.
And Coach, I it's a process. I mean, it's a process for those people that don't know. It's a process, like the coach is talking here, trying to finish games. I mean, look, you take the first one, you can compete with the teams, right? Because you're winning one. They're not blowing you out, right? So you come in and you win. So you're doing some good things, winning a set here, a set there. So that you can play with the team you're playing. There's no doubt about that. It's just like you're saying, we're having to learn how to finish, and that's a process, and that's just going to have to come. And that does, I believe, Coach, come with winning the games and understanding the situation and what you have to do to finish these close games. Coach, the one thing about this stat sheet that you showed me were the young girls, right? The freshmen, they're young. And what surprises me, because they're so young, is the way they're playing. In this game against Rockport-Fulton, Kylie Ralston, we had her on last week, really did good with the digs. Oakley Reese, another freshman with kills. Talk about these freshman performance against Rockport and what you saw from them.
Yeah, I mean, our freshmen have bought in. They're really great competitors, and, they've gotten their opportunity to play. They've earned their spot on the court. I think they've really built up their confidence. We have a really good connection between our freshman setter Dara and Oakley. They're on the court together for those 2 rotations, and so they just have a really good connection, and they use it to their advantage. Kylie Ralston she's fearless. She's gonna do what it takes to touch a ball. Like, she'll hit the floor, even if it's just she gets a pinky nail on it. She's gonna touch that ball. So like I said, those girls have bought in. which is what you want from your freshmen for sure, because, you know, they're the future of the program. So they're thriving in that situation. You know, they just keep getting better, and that's what we want. I mean, there's not really much more to say about it. That's just how they are. That's really something that I'm excited about.
Absolutely. It's good to see these freshmen play at a high level. It's what you want to see, I think, as you'll progress through the season, right? You start the first game of the season, and so you want to see every player get better, but especially these young girls that are the future. And so you want to see them get better. And we just named two here in Oakley and Kylie Roston, who, if you look at their stat sheet, I'm looking at them. I know the people can't see them, but I can. Playing very, very good. And hopefully that will continue in through the rest of the district. And then, of course, taking the loss to Rockport-Fulton, which comes another team in district, and it's Sinton. And we've been talking about just how good the teams are in this district. And Sinton comes in and we take the loss to Sinton also. Coach, I believe it was in 3 sets. But again, there were some good girls that individually had a good performance against a very tough Sinton team. Talk to us a little bit about what you saw us do against a very tough Sinton team.
You know, we kind of jumped on it early. Oakley had a good kill right off the bat, got a point, and you know, we kind of hung in there a little bit with them point by point until they started getting their momentum a little bit on us, and kind of ran away with it. You know, Sinton just runs a fast level of play. They've been playing volleyball for many years together since they, you know, were probably 10 years old, I think is when they start their club. So it's just, you know, that's the difference between our program and their program. They're a volleyball town. They play volleyball year round. You know, we play volleyball during the volleyball season and during the summer, which, you know, there's a big difference there. They're going to get more reps. They're going to get more time playing together. And so they're just a well-oiled machine, and they compete, and they're, you know, good athletes. And so for us, you know, we came in and, you know, we played to the best of our ability. But you know, our speed is a little bit slower than theirs. We just don't play as much as they do. But, you know, like I said, our freshmen, they did really well. You know, had to play Ralston in a different position than she's normally played. So she had a whole different angle that she had to cover, and she did a really good job touching balls. Oakley had some, you know, good kills. You know, as usual, Maddie, she came in and she got herself some kills. You just do what you can against a team that's just really well-rounded and solid. And, you know, we did the best we could. And Sinton is just a good team.
And that's all you can do when you play these teams like this. You know, the girls just got to go out there and compete. That's all you can ask of them to do. Continue to play hard at every point. Our stats here, Kylie Ralston, again, the freshman, 20 digs. So as coach says, you'll see her all over the floor. Stats don't lie. She's everywhere, doing everything, playing hard, and you definitely want to see that. Avery Adami, the senior, 27 digs. So again, Avery and Maddie, you know, they're kind of consistent. You'll hear their names. They kind of bring it every game. But it's nice to see our younger players really getting involved. And even though the final score, you know, it's not to our liking, not what we want to see. There's still some great individual performances that's coming up here for our Lady Mustangs. And so even though we start with 2 losses, it's still a long ways to go here in district, as we'll try to bounce back. Coach, let's talk a little bit about some of the teams that are coming up for us. So we do have as far as district, we'll have a bye. We won't play another district game till not this Friday, but next Friday. So it's quite a ways off, but we do have a game between now and then, and that is McMullen County. They'll come into Ingleside there. They'll play us on Friday. What can you tell us about, or what do you know about McMullen County, and how do you think we'll fare against this team?
We've scrimmaged them a couple times in the past couple of years. Yeah, they're a small school, but they have you know, they have some talented volleyball players. I think they're kind of on the up and up. They have a really good team this year, so it'll be good competition for us. You know, continuing to prepare for the district games that we're about to play. They have some height. They have some pretty decent hitters, so it'll be good for us to continue just to work on, you know, our defense and continue to get better. I mean, at this point, our goal, you know, we're gonna play a really tough Beeville team and a really talented Calhoun team here in the next week or so. So we got the eye on the prize to when we go back and play Rockport to redeem ourselves and get that win. Because at this point, all we got to do is beat Rockport one time, and then we're guaranteed basically one more game after district because we're gonna have to have a playoff with them. So, that's what we're shooting for. We're just shooting for that one win against Rockport. And along the way, if we take a game from somebody, even better. So every game that we're playing, we're just working to try to get better so when we can, improve on the second round of district.
There's still a lot of games to be played. And even though, the competition's tough, I think this is one of the toughest districts. I haven't checked through volleyball, but it's got to be one of the toughest with a lot of these teams. I mean, I think Calhoun's ranked. I think Beeville is ranked as well. So you're not just talking about they're ranked. These teams are positioned to go pretty deep in the playoffs, possibly. So it's tough, and it's gonna make us better. It doesn't matter right now. It's about us continuing to get better and playing these teams, win or losses. It's going to make us better in the future, and that's exactly what we want. So again, that game with McMullen County is here in Ingleside. That's Friday at 4:30. Come on out and support our Lady Mustangs. Not sure where the football team will be. I can't remember. I just had a podcast with Coach Chrisman. Do you know what the game?
They're playing in Bernie.
Bernie, there you go. I got to be going to Bernie. I can't believe I forgot that. That's why I'm traveling to Bernie right around lunchtime. So come on out there. If you're not going to go out and support or make the drive out there to be able to support the Mustangs at Bernie, you can catch them on the MPND Sports Network when the football game starts. But definitely come on out and support our Lady Mustangs there. They're in town at 4:30 p.m. against McMullen County. They definitely love to see everybody out there. The girls and coaches would definitely like to see you out there supporting Lady Mustangs. And then, Coach, let's talk a little bit about what's coming up in the next two games with district. Well, let's talk just the one team that's coming up, and that's Calhoun. They are state ranked. I've watched this team for the last 5 or 6 years off and on. And every year that I've watched them, Coach, honestly, I don't think they've had one off year where you can say they're rebuilding or something. Every year, this team is well coached, and they just continue to be great in volleyball. What can you tell us? We talked a little bit about that, but if there's anything else you want to add as far as that game that'll be played, that'll be also here at home on the 11th. So come on out to take on the Lady Sandys.
Like you said, they're a well-coached team, another team that, a lot of their girls play club, and they've just got that chemistry together. They're a very, very smart team. So, you play them and you expect them to just wail on the ball the whole time, but that's not the case. They're very smart. They'll place the ball a lot where you're not, and they'll get the easy point. They won't necessarily try to go for the bounce, the pound every time. It's just very, very smart, calculated volleyball. So, you've got to be on your toes, and you've got to play good defense, and you've got to be able to react and read what's going on. And at the same time, they play very, very strong, smart defense. They pick up a lot of balls. They read the ball very well. But, the crazy thing is in the last couple of years of playing Calhoun, we've actually taken some sets from them. For them being a really good team, we've competed against them, and we've like I said, we've taken a few sets. I think one year we took a set. We had one of our girls twist an ankle in the middle of the game, so one of my DSs had to play back row, and we ended up winning that set. So completely doable. You just got to play hard. I mean, we are capable of hanging with these teams if we play, with a sense of urgency and we communicate. It's just getting the girls to do it the whole time. That's what we're working towards. So, I know Calhoun's going to be a good team. I'm excited to play them. They're always fun to play. It's just really good volleyball. And I think that hopefully it'll elevate our level of play as well.
It should. And, Coach, I've been, we do other, believe it or not, we do other volleyball podcasts. We do one for Rockport with Coach Clark. We do obviously the one here in Ingleside with Coach Whittle, and then we do the one at TM with Coach Chapa. And so, as I said, as you coaches send me the stats, I see like an SP. I say, I have no idea what this means. So I'm Googling and writing down what it means. So I'm starting to understand because I called the game and I'm like, if you're going to go call some of these games, you're going to have to know something about volleyball. And I apologize that I don't know more like I do football or basketball, but I'm learning, and it's a lot of fun because, you just kind of see when you're talking to a player and they're kind of telling you where they want to hit the ball and angles and stuff. And so when you guys send me the stats, I'm looking, okay, what does this mean? I go to Max Prep, okay, Google this, okay, that's what this means. So now I can visualize what the girls are doing. So I'm learning, Coach. I'm glad you got some patience with me. I'm not very knowledgeable in volleyball. Love the game. Watch the Lady Longhorns every time I get an opportunity. Right, I love them, but I don't watch it enough to know enough about what I'm talking. But as I call these games, I'm telling myself, you better get to know this game a little bit better because you're going to be calling them. So I'm trying, but it's a lot of fun for those that don't watch a lot of volleyball. It's really a lot of fun to come out and watch it. It takes a lot of skill to be able to play this game. I don't know how some of these girls jump that high over the net, Coach. I have no clue. Sometimes those balls come really hard to be able to just move at an instant, try to keep that ball up. Sometimes you get hit in the face. It's truly amazing what the girls do in playing this sport that it's tough. It's tough. That ball comes really hard. There's some power when these girls are hitting it. So definitely have had a lot of fun watching it. And I've called some in the past and called the game last night, actually. Let's talk about the other levels of volleyball there in Ingleside. What can you tell us about our junior varsity and freshmen, and how are they doing?
So our freshman team beat Sinton last night in 3 sets. Played a really good game of volleyball. Some of our younger middle blockers are starting to get some contact, get some confidence. So that's something that I'm excited about for the future for sure. Our JV lost in 3 sets, but they finished 25-23. So it was a really close game. They jumped on them early in this first set and played very well. Both of our JV and freshman teams right now are kind of have some injuries, so they're short a few players. So we only have a few subs on those groups. So for the fact that they're playing with very few subs, and some of them are playing positions that they haven't really played before, and then we're getting wins, and so that's good. I'm excited for that group. We have, like I said before, our freshman group is really talented. So looking to those freshmen in the next couple of years to move up to varsity and continue to help our program, go towards more of the positive side of getting more wins and less losses is the goal. And so every day in practice, we see somebody step up. Today we had kind of a chaotic practice. We were just doing a lot of fast paced stuff. And it was really neat to see some of those freshmen start to rise to the occasion. So it's exciting. Those girls work really hard, and they're going to be good people to have around the next few years.
That's awesome to hear, Coach. And of course, some of those freshman girls, as we talked earlier when we started this podcast, are already on varsity. I believe Coach has 4 of them, that freshman group, and they're just not there just to take a seat or to take a spot. They are actually having an impact on the game. They're getting better. And I think, Coach, when these other freshmen come up, you will have 4 freshman classes that can be leaders and show those other girls. So an exciting time, the future, when we talk about the future of volleyball there in Ingleside and what the other groups are doing. It's really good to hear that they're winning against good programs, because that freshman team being said, that's a good program, because that program is good. To be able to win a game, a couple of matches, says a lot about those girls, their progress here in Ingleside and what we're doing. So definitely we get excited about that. And then, Coach, I don't know what you can tell me about the middle school. What are we doing at that level?
I'm trying to think who we played. God, Monday seems like so long ago.
Right.
Monday they played Beeville. Beeville's a really talented team.
They are.
Especially their 8th graders. They have a really talented 8th grade group. So they'll have some players, in the next few years. But our 7th grade group is probably the next big group to come through Ingleside as far as like athletic ability and talent. And so they're a good team to watch. They're fun to watch. They're very coachable kids. So I'm excited to see how they progress. Just trying to see our 8th graders and starting to get them now prepared for okay, well, now, you're finishing out your 8th grade season. Now we're starting to look, okay, what's coming next? What's coming for high school? So these are your expectations. And, now they're starting to move towards more of those high school expectations and kind of trying to leave the middle school play behind and really play in our system. So they're starting to pick it up. I mean, every day they get better. They're hustling. And so that's exactly what we want. We just want kids who are going to hustle, work hard, and buy into the system. That's all we can ask for.
Absolutely, coach. The 7th and 8th graders, they only play one game a week, I believe. What day is that they play?
Most games are on Monday nights. Occasionally there'll be one on Thursday. It just kind of depends on the schedule. If there was like a conflict or something between the schools, they work that out. But
Okay.
Yeah, we play Monday nights. So
And what time do they start? Is it early, late?
It just depends on where you're playing. So if a gym has a 2-gym, or school has a 2-gym format, they'll play at I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they play 4:30 and 5:30, or it might be 5:30 and 6:30. But if it's a 1-gym format, which is what we do, they play 4:30, 5:30, 6:30, 7:30. So they play back to back.
Starts at 4:30. Okay, well that's good. I like it, to be honest with you. If you're gonna go stream a game, that's the best way of doing it, because if you go to 2 gyms, you can't do both, right?
Yeah.
There's only one of you. So I like that format better. If you're gonna go, then you can catch these games and you can get more video on them if they play one game after that. So for me, I like that. I'm sure for other parents, they'd rather have the 2 gyms and get it over with and not have to wait.
Yeah.
But that's really good. And again, like we're talking about here, it's a process here. A lot of these schools, they do play. I know when I talked to Coach Chapa TM, they a lot of their players play all the way all year long. And some of them, that's all they do. They don't play another sport. It's just volleyball all year long. And so you definitely see the difference from that. But again, Coach Whittle, like she's talking about a freshman, really excited about what the future holds. And then she's talking about the middle school and some of the talent that we have there that we're going to continue to promote as we talk volleyball here with Coach Whittle for the remainder of the season. Coach, I know we didn't have one player on. Hopefully we can get another one on next week. We'll see what next week holds. But I want to give you the final thought, anything that you might want to add, anything you want to say before we let you go?
I guess the biggest thing that I want to say is, our volleyball girls work really hard. I'm pretty tough on them. So if you see a volleyball player, just recognize them, say, hey, good luck at your next game or whatever. Just show them some support. We know a lot of times we're, like I think I mentioned before, we're on our own island. We don't get a lot of fans in the stands. We don't really get a lot of shout outs at, various events. So, I think that would really help lift up some of the spirits of these girls, especially in a tough district play. Just to be recognized and be seen by our community would be huge. So guys, come watch our games. I mean, that's all we can ask for. I mean, I promise you it's going to be a fun environment and it's only going to benefit our athletes. So
it is, Coach. It really is.
Thing.
And it's not just for the varsity either community. It's also for our junior varsity, our freshmen. That's why we bring Coach Whittle on. She gives we get insight on not just what the varsity is doing, but also what the middle school. And you're hearing her talk about what the freshman group is doing, the 8th graders, the middle school 7th graders. And when you get time, come on out there. Also for those girls too, wish them luck. That's why we talk to Coach, when do they play on Mondays and Thursdays? If you have the opportunity, you're around school, go in there, check out the gym and see who's playing. And if you got a little bit of time, come on out. Definitely when I played, the players really like that. The more crowd, the more energy you get inside of you and you want to play harder. So there is a big difference, Coach. You're absolutely right. When there's a full gym versus when there's an empty gym, it makes a big difference for the players. So definitely we want to be able to go out there and support not just the varsity volleyball, but also the JV freshmen in our middle school. As we've got some talent this year, we got some talent next year, and we're going to need all of that support as we play. We're trying to get as many wins as we can here for our volleyball program, Coach. But I really thank you for spending the time. After you come out at 6 o'clock after a very long day, you've had school, the classroom, and then you got practice, and then I got to go talk to the guy from the MPND Sports Network. Oh my goodness, I'm tired. But I greatly appreciate what you do, what Coach Chrisman does, because people don't understand this is not the most important thing when you wake up in the morning. I mean, you've got a lot of other things, but to make time to come out here for 30 minutes or so to be able to talk about your program because you care about it, and to be able to talk about your kids says a lot. And I really want to thank you for taking the time after a long day to come out every Wednesday and joining us here on the MPND Sports Network to talk about your program, Coach. So definitely going to continue to do my part to continue to promote volleyball as we move forward to try to get more people to go out there and definitely support us while we're playing, but also just to kind of give, like you said, a good luck when we see them around town. If that's at the store, at another school event, at a football game, know your players, and definitely a good luck coming up in your game goes a long ways for these players as they get on the court, because they practice hard during the week and they're in class. So all that does matter, Coach. So thank you very much for coming out and everything you do for our program. Continue fighting, Coach. At some point, something's going to break for us, but we're definitely going to be here. And I'll remind you again, anything you ever need from me, Coach, don't hesitate to send me an email that we can do it. We'll definitely do it. So again, Coach, we'll be back next Wednesday, and hopefully we'll have another player. Until then, Coach, good luck, and we'll talk to you soon.
Next Wednesday, I may not be able to do it. It's our homecoming parade.
Okay.
So it's our burning of the M. So we might have to schedule it for a different time of the day, or maybe.
Okay, Coach, if you let me know if you want to, if you come on earlier on Wednesday, that's fine. If you want to make it on Thursday would be the other day. But if you can't come in earlier on Wednesday, don't worry about it, Coach. We can always just skip that one and go next Wednesday. But if you can do it an earlier one, let me know, and we'll definitely do it. Thank you, Coach, and have a great day.
You too.